Here's the two good things about Todd Blanche being confirmed as Attorney General overnight by the Republicans in the Senate. The first thing is that it energizes the fuck out of everybody else who had been complacent and been thinking, oh, it's not that bad. If you've been paying attention to politics. For those who in your life, in your circle, who haven't been paying attention to politics, your job, if you're not going to volunteer as a poll worker, if you're not going to phone bank, if you're not going to knock on doors or volunteer, your job is just to make sure everyone in your sphere of influence who claim to be apolitical, who say politics not my thing, let them know. Let them know everything you know. That's how you can do it. Spread the word. Each one teach one is my model. So if you're pissed off, if you're angry that this man who's Donald Trump's personal lawyer, who 1,200 former Department of Justice employees said don't confirm this man, told the Senate that. They are aware that dozens of judges wrote the New York bar and said what this man did in Tennessee with Kilmer Garcia, going after him, looking for a crime, is unethical, is a violation of his duty and of candor, his duty as an officer to the court. Judges, dozens of judges wrote Kathleen Williams and told her, this is a fraud in the court. We know when we see one. She's considering this man for contempt of court and something that's even punishable by jail time. He doesn't doesn't have immunity. Judge Jim Boasberg is also considering that. So we have all these judges, all these former Department of Justices, the Epstein victims that said he's bullshitting. He's hiding the Epstein class. He's protecting predators, people who, this man, let them all know. That's the first thing, is that energize the hell out of people. It helps you realize that the Republicans are feckless. They have no gut. They have no gumption. They have no ethics, no morals, no anything, and they're not committed to the people who elected them. They're not committed to the truth. They're not committed to law, constitution. So they don't need to be in their jobs. Now you realize this. You realize now that this whole time. Spread the word. That's the first thing you do. That's a good thing. Hopefully energize you. The second thing, it lets us know that we got to do the work ourselves. We can't rely on the Department of Justice. We can't rely. He's not the Attorney General of the United States. He's the Attorney General of Donald Trump. So he can have that title. They can give him that title, but he's not the Attorney General. So what does this mean? This means if you are in a position of power, if you are a state or a county, Hennepin County have brought up for prosecution, have in jail one of the ICE guys who assaulted someone, lied about it, and ended up. You have lots of case and evidence of that in your state. They committed these crimes in your state. Take a hint. Watch what they're doing, pattern it, and y'all start arresting them. Start acting. If you are someone who has a family member who was brutalized, the international courts, though Donald Trump removed this from those courts, we're still a member of the United Nations. The United Nations has process and procedures where you can file a claim for human rights violations. So even though this country is not doing its job, you can file it internationally. That's going to go places. They're going to start doing investigation. They're going to start looking into it. They're going to start the process with or without the administration or the United States approval. That's the second thing that you can do. If you are a person who has a phone and can call and can snitch, can whistleblow, can share inside information, there are plenty of lines. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give anything. Tell what you know, especially if you're in the government, you see this stuff. Start whistleblowing now. We need to have a record. We need to know we got to investigate. We need to start gathering this information so the minute that the Democrats take over the House, hopefully the Senate, we have the stuff. Give it to the House Oversight Committee. Give it to the whistleblowing report. Start snitches, start telling. Stop waiting. Don't wait till 2028. Don't wait till it's all covered. Tell now. Lots of newspapers. The reason why we know a lot of stuff we know about the Situation Room, Oval Situation Room, like meeting, strategy meeting to hide the fact that Donald Trump is salaciously in the Epstein files. We know about that because of a leak. We know about the fact that Erez Ravine said that Emil Bouvet, who's now, I think, a 7th Circuit judge, and Todd Blanche told the Department of Justice lawyers to ignore the court and don't stop them from sending innocent men to be tortured for 100 days in another country for no reason other than the fact that of their ethnicity and their youth. That's it. I cover these topics like that. I cover these topics, so you know that that's from a whistleblower. most of the things we know. When you say leaks, sources say, this is the leakiest administration. If you don't follow me, I monitor the lawsuit filed against the Trump administration and those the Trump administration filed against other to give you a sense of calm, let you know the courts are working. I have a legal L's video coming. There's been stacking up. We have lots of legal L's. That's what I do here for you. But because I'm in the dockets, I can tell you that for certain that leaks that happened back in, I believe it was maybe November, December 2024, maybe into early 2025, I said, what's going to be the saving grace is going to be the lower courts, because the Supreme Court, Scrotum 6 is trash. But back then I kind of had more faith in John Roberts. I don't know why, but it's gone out the window. That the court's going to hold the line. And the other thing I said in another video, I said the leaks, the leakers, the whistleblowers, they're going to be the one that's going to help us. It's going to help us build a record, establish it. We're going to know what the frick they're doing, because they're doing a lot. Imagine the stuff we know now, that we know already, it's 10 times worse behind the scenes. There's so much things. This is going to go down in history as the most corrupt regime in U.S. history. And this includes, normally people say in modern history, because you can imagine back in the early days, when like some of the presidents had slaves and they were doing duels and stuff like that, and there was like a corruption. So people like to say just modern era. I think they're going to have this is for the whole history. I think the entire, from George Washington up until now, it's going to be the most corrupt regime, the openly corrupt stuff. So, and that's just what we know already. So imagine when we finish knowing the other stuff they've done, how they're going to beat their own record on corruption. So to recap, if you are a state, start prosecuting those ICE agents now. Start chasing them now, hold them accountable for their brutality, their cruelty, their assault. We've seen some of the things. And if you are a victim of them, go tell your state. Don't tell the federal government, Department of Justice. 1. Step 2, if you are a person who's been victimized, contact international. If you know something about the Epstein files, they're not doing anything. Todd Blanche ain't doing shit. France is doing something. Like Scotland's doing something. I mean, the UK is doing something. All these other countries that have already started the investigation, contact them, especially if what you know includes their state, if it touched their country, and the person's living here, or the person's living there, but between Epstein, if it touched their country, they have jurisdictions. Snitch. It's our time. We have to do the work. And if you're a state and you've been relying on the federal government to assist you in prosecuting guns, child trafficking, crypto scams, white-collar crimes, domestic violence, all the things the Department of Justice normally does that has been put aside because Todd Blanche is doing 2 things. He is helping Donald Trump with his weird pipe dreams to prosecute his enemies, even though there's no evidence, no reason, no basis for him. We're just wasting our time, government resources. I want my money back. And the other thing they're doing is put everything on immigration, because that's Donald Trump's feel like he can win on that. And he's losing on that. He's not winning, because there's not the worst of the worst. You still haven't deported more people than the previous administration, more criminals. You've deported more innocent people, and people know who you're deporting. They know you're deporting children, pregnant women. We know you're doing all this stuff, and we're keeping track of them, keeping tabs. So you failed on that. You haven't deported the worst of the worst. It was a big lie. And now we know. So your MAGA may still believe it, but here's the thing: is MAGA based, even though you see the reports that say 20, 30%, in some states, I feel like Alaska's like 45%, still Donald Trump. That's because they're locked into the propaganda networks that are Fox, that are owned, and conservative radio, and they're also brainwashing their tunnel vision. So again, this is up to you. The first thing I said, if you have family or friends who are apolitical or who are that MAGA, start filtering this information we know to them. Start mentioning casually, drop a link, whatever. That's your job. Our job is to wake them up out of their coma. If you can, not my job. They're not in my family. I think I have one, but not my job. And just do what you can. Everybody, each one, teach one. It's going to be an effort, at least that's getting it all together. And we're going to get stuff done. We just know what we're on our own. No one's coming to save us. We are who we are waiting for. So that's my message. JJ Legal, follow this account if you're not already following. Share this message to people you know. I have a Trump Survivor Kit in my jjlegal.com. You can go get in exchange for your email, so you can know all the stuff that I'm going to tell you. And here's the thing: if you subscribe or follow, hit the notification bell, notify. So whenever I say something, give you some insight, give you an update, you can go watch it all the way through. If you have a comment, leave a comment, and then each one, teach one. Share that video with someone else. That's your call to action. We got this. We're not losers. We're winners. We're gonna get the other side of this. Trust. I got you. You can do this.